Hello everybody, PlanetWalls here. I am pleased to introduce a new series that I would like to record. I finally have this thing set up on my computer. Before we get started on what this is, I want to go over some brief caveats about what the series is going to be, etc. So first of all, this is XCOM Enemy Within. What this is the expansion pack modified version of XCOM Enemy Unknown, one of my favorite games from last year, I guess. I really enjoyed it. I played a lot of it. I believe I am competent, though certainly not an expert. And I thought this would make for a great series because there's downtime in between scenes and whatnot, and in between decisions to talk and so forth. So next, I'd like to say the purpose of the series will be threefold. One, I'd like to introduce people who don't know much about XCOM so they can figure out what's going on in the series. Sorry about that. I just shook the table a little bit. Second, I would like to provide one-liners when killing a lot of aliens that are at least somewhat humorous in a corny sort of way. And three, I would like to play somewhat competently. Third, I have something of a cold right now, so hopefully that's, not a big distraction, but if I sound disgusting, that should hopefully end in a couple episodes. So I am actually also going to be playing with the control here. The Xbox control. Now, the reason for that is that I tried it with the mouse, and I found the mouse somewhat distracting since I got accustomed to playing this game on the Xbox 360, actually. So, what I want to change here is the gamma and raise that a little bit. This isn't a game like Amnesia where, there's an atmospheric component to it, really. I just want to make sure everything's visible. So, hopefully in a couple of episodes I'll have everything figured out. I will be playing on Classic Iron Man. I'll explain what that is in a minute. But for the time being, I will not enable any of the second wave options. For the time being, I'm going to show off the tutorial because there are some plot elements in it that are not covered in the normal game. Then I will restart the game without the tutorial and play for real. So for those of you bored by the tutorial, you may want to skip to the next episode. But if you don't know what's going on in this game, you may want to watch. So I'm going to make sure that the tutorial is enabled. We will not enable the meld tutorial. It doesn't really matter, though. I guess it forces it to be enabled. When we eventually play, even though meld is one of the introduced features of Enemy Within, the expansion, I will not play the tutorial for meld because it's pretty self-explanatory and the tutorial is pretty minimal. I will just explain what's going on with it. So let's let this Buckminster Fuller quote pop up on the screen. Somewhat auspiciously. I never know how to use the word auspicious for sure. And then I'll just let this cutscene play, and I might talk over it. I should have subtitles enabled, so you should be able to see what's going on. Bladed Edge, regarding a comment you made on the Half-Life series, Wife Plays Half-Life 2, we will enable subtitles as soon as possible for that. I appreciate that comment. This group of people who is mysteriously all wearing suits at like 10 p.m. They're all wearing business attire. They're like, oh, let's all touch this thing together. Oh. That guy isn't wearing business attire. He knows what's up. He's wearing some Keds. I don't know what he's wearing. Uh-oh. I hate it when the magic card Hungry Mist comes and gets you. Alright. So, the plot in this game is, I don't want to say it's minimal. It's a little corny, hammy, and stupid. That's sort of not the focus. It mainly serves as a guiding pressure to force you to act. The game is essentially... Well, shut up.
Hello, Commander. In light of the recent extraterrestrial incursion, this Council of Nations has convened to approve the activation of the XCOM project. You have been chosen to lead this initiative, to oversee our first and last line of defense.
What kind of degree do you think I have to be given this appointment?
This planet's future. We urge you to keep that in mind as you proceed.
Like presumably some kind of military school plus a degree in extraterrestrial, I don't know, whatever, xenobiology? Some of the cutscenes and graphics in this game are a little awkward. Some of that's probably my system setup, and that I don't have my system optimized to record and play this game at the same time. Some of it is just that the game, I think, doesn't look perfect.
That was the last transmission, sir.
Patch me through to Voodoo 3-1.
You were being deployed to Germany. At 1900 hours Zulu, several unidentified objects fell to Earth. After ruling out the possibility of a downed satellite, we now believe these objects to be extraterrestrial in nature.
Oh man, he paused before that.
Shortly after impact, German officials received reports of mass hysteria and freak weather around one of the impact zones. Then things went dark. At 2100 hours, a chopper carrying a German military recon team went down in the area after they reported being fired upon.
Oh, shut up, guy.
No. Germany is a member of the Council, and they have requested our assistance. Our mission is to assess the situation on the ground, ascertain the current status of the German recon team, and investigate the extraterrestrial objects. Central out.
Okay. So, this game is divided between two scenes. It's,
Central.
Oh.
This is Big Sky.
Sorry.
Down the crash site.
Roger, Voodoo 3-1. Any sign of activity?
Negative. Nothing's moving down there.
Okay. Set her down nearby.
Oh man, I'm dropping frames. Alright, so the game is divided in between two scenes. There's a top-down, largely sort of turn-based strategy game scene, which is where much of the gameplay happens. And then there's sort of a resource management strategy situation where you go back to your base, build buildings, upgrade equipment and stuff, and the game is divided between the two.
You getting all this?
This is the tutorial mission. By and large, actually entirely, it is predetermined, which is why we won't be moving on directly from this tutorial, and we'll be starting over without it.
Cover behind that debris directly in front of you.
And it really holds your hand. So I just wanted to give you guys a sense of this and to follow the plot a little bit. Okay, yep, we'll do that. Anyway, I'd also said the reason I'd use the Xbox 360 control instead of the keyboard and mouse is because I grew accustomed to doing so when I was playing on the Xbox 360 without the expansion originally. And I found that I kept accidentally using run and gun on my assault soldiers rather than having them overwatch by hitting the 2 key. So I didn't want to do that anymore because it was causing me to lose during practice sessions. Like, that one typo, essentially, was screwing everything up. So I went back to the control, which I think should work. And so as you can see, moving in and out of cover, getting your soldiers into position, this is by and large what the top-down component of the game is like. Each soldier has 2 moves. You can give up both to dash. Shooting normally ends the turn. Okay, this Japanese soldier is going to talk.
Looks like one of the recon teams, sir. It looks like something...
Looks like a multicolored creature peed on his face.
Negative, sir. That's someone else.
Dr. Valen, what's he saying?
So that guy didn't understand the German help?
Help me.
Yeah.
Radio transmission is
If I were the central operator of the XCOM project, I would make sure I knew German.
from inside a structure.
Wouldn't have to talk to Frau Dr. Valen in order to
Infiltrate that building.
figure out what's going on. Yeah, so anyway, you can give up both your moves to dash. That's a bad idea most of the time in the game, though. Not always. And essentially there's a turn-based combat element that will happen between you and the alien forces in every mission you go on. And so also you'll notice these shields on the wall. That indicates full cover. A half shield indicates half cover. Most of this will become apparent throughout the game. Where do I have to go? It wants me to move up here. All right. Yeah, get in there. As I sort of hinted, the game isn't perfect. There are some glitches. What is it? Not letting me move the camera with the Xbox controller? What if I... No? There he goes. Hopefully we can move the camera normally with the controller once we get into the actual game.
This doesn't make sense. Looks like he's been dead for a week.
Dead for a week.
Flexing is the cause of death. It appears that he was eviscerated when something burst out of him from the
Oh
inside.
man, some alien cosplay.
Visual on the object. Permission to approach.
It's the only cover between you and that building. Permission granted.
Okay, so move up to this alien object. It's showing you that you can use these for cover too.
What is it?
I got no idea what this thing is, but I can confirm that it's no satellite.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been very hard to confirm.
Delta Squad, you're almost to the building. Keep moving.
Okay, so as I mentioned, it's pretty much directing me. This is only half cover here, which is why there was a half shield icon indicated. When you're playing on Classic, generally half cover sucks pretty hard. You want full cover or you want to be hunkering down. There are lots of options in this game, tons of decisions to be made, and you could have decision paralysis for ages.
In there and get to cover.
I will attempt not to do that, but at the same time play competently, which will be tough. Normal is too easy for me, but Classic is still very difficult for me. Impossible is far too difficult for me to attempt right now. I think I just don't have the patience in some ways. But this is how a lot of the game goes, only with probably a little bit more action than this tutorial is suggesting.
Central, we have eyes on the target. He's armed.
Copy, Delta 3. Okay, everyone. Get into position nearby, but do not approach. Doctor, see if you can communicate with him. Tell him to drop his weapon.
I will try. Hallo. Können Sie mich hören?
Can you hear me?
Wir sind hier, Ihnen zu helfen.
We are here to help you.
Lassen Sie Ihre Waffen fallen.
Please put your weapon down.
He appears to be in shock.
That would be my conclusion too, I guess.
People. I don't like the looks of this.
Yeah, neither do I. How about you try and shoot that grenade out of his... No, that's probably a bad idea. I wouldn't do that in real life. So I mentioned I would be playing Classic Iron Man. That basically means it turns the game into a single roguelike experience in the sense that... I mean, they're random encounters, so that's why I say roguelike. It's not really a roguelike in the way that Rogue is. Or even Splunky, but there are lots of random elements and decisions to be made. But you can play for 30 hours on Iron Man and all of a sudden you just lose. So essentially what I'm trying to say is Iron Man keeps you from saving. It auto-saves at every point and deletes the previous save, so you cannot go back. And that's the only way to play this game as far as I'm concerned. His eyes are purple. No, Rookie Zinchenko!
He's down. Delta 1 is down.
No, Rookie Snyder! This game is pretty tough, so if you screw up, and sometimes even when you don't, you pay the price. And an alien will pop around a corner and just blow the shit out of one of your guys, and he'll just die. And keeping your soldiers alive is one of the more important things. I will probably be naming soldiers after commenters. I have sort of a system I've already developed in how to pick them. It involves randomly picking from... How do I get into this position? There we go. From a set of commenters who have commented in the last, 10 things. Basically, I just sort of did it, made a list. Let's pop this guy. Okay, good. I mean, this is a tutorial, so it's all predetermined. The normal game is not predetermined. You have, set of odds about, probability of hitting, and so you make decisions based on that. I've had 99% chance to hit before and missed. It's pretty depressing. What's happening? Frag grenade? That's what it wants me to do? Okay. Alright. So yeah, you basically rank up your soldiers over time, but they can still be myrtleized by something random like that. No, Aoki!
Let's tip the odds in our favor.
Yeah, tip the odds in our favor by, even though we've lost 3 of our 4 men. Men and women.
You have a
Alright.
shot from that position.
Also on Classic, the aliens are somewhat predictable, but they're also pretty intelligent. They don't make mistakes, but you can sometimes trick them by hiding people behind walls and so forth. You guys will sort of see how it works.
Roger that, Delta. Secure the bodies and head back to the Sky Ranger for immediate extraction.
That's ominous. Alright. So there might be like another movie. I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm probably going to end the tutorial here. We will start again at a scene or a sequence that looks quite a lot like this. Only I'll be starting with new characters, and we'll just get going from there. So thanks for watching. Let me know how the sound is, etc. And I look forward to playing the next episode, and hopefully you guys look forward to watching it. So thanks so much.